watch the economy getting ready to get fucked up. Watch the white people gonna start jumping out of windows, jumping off of bridges, taking hostage. They gonna go crazy because they money fucked up. Now black people, see, when our money get, we just have chicken dinners, fish fries, sell a little weed.
I think when people told you that they were voting for him because of the economy, they were lying. I think people voted for him because this country, too many people in this country couldn't even think about voting for a black female. So when but they don't want to say, they're not going to say, I'm not voting for her because she's a woman or she's black. God forbid she's both. Oh, and by the way, she's married to a Jewish guy. They're not going to say that. They're going to say, I'm voting for him because of the economy. They're liars.
Hold on. Completely agree with a lot of what you say. But when we say they're liars, we don't mean all of them. Put your best spin on. Why would
he's a good businessman. They think he was going to make us money.
A good businessman do good for the economy and make money. Okay, smart guy. Why did good people vote for Trump?
I'm just on here wondering if anybody's feeling the same way I'm feeling. I'm from Illinois, and I feel like the gas prices and the electric bills and the prices of food is just so overwhelming anymore. Like, I'm wondering if anybody else is feeling like they're drowning and they can't get out. I work overtime and I cannot get above water. I mean, I literally have no gas for next week. It was either that or get a few groceries to get by. I hit my local food pantries. I'm just wondering if anybody else feels like they're drowning. But anyway, I hope everybody has a great day.
Bagwan family, welcome back to my YouTube commentary. Now, with everything going on in the white empires, for example, in the American empire, we are seeing everything is going down. The empire is falling. Economy is bad. Political, socially, spiritually. White America is on the verge of losing. But what is coming out, what I think is that black people, it's like they are not feeling the heat. But it's not that they are not feeling the heat. But black people have been on this heat. Black people have been on this movie. Black people knows how the actors on these movies are acting. When DJT comes up with a policy that's affecting them, it's affecting them, but they have been here. And the good thing is that black people knows how to penetrate through any hardship. They have penetrated through mass incarceration, through police brutality, being followed everywhere, through lynching, through redlining, through... So, white people or white Americans, they are raging right now because the American fallout, the collapsing economy, the political chaos, the failed promises, the high cost of living is hitting them harder than how it's hitting anyone else. But the twist is, black people ain't suffering in the same way. Why? Because we have been here. We already lived here. So today, I'm going to break down this. Trump policies, the economy fallout, why white America are panicking, and why black resilience is shining through it all. Why black people are rising even in the midst of this. And it's not that black people are happy. It's not that black people are not feeling the pinch. No. Everyone is feeling the pinch. But as the Bible says, as Israelites will move out of Egypt, they will not move until everyone have tasted until Egyptians have tasted what Israelites have been going through. We cannot just leave you like that. Let's watch these clips first, and then we come back with more commentary. Make sure you leave your comment down there. And thank you all for those who are sending the super thanks. I see you, and I love you so much for the support. Thank you so much.
All right, look, it should be no surprise that there is an overall silence coming from the black community. Literally, America is crumbling to pieces, and you have barely heard a peep from black people. And I actually find it extremely surprising that people actually expect black people to feel sorry or feel some type of sympathy for the downfall of America. After everything that America has put us through, do you really think that we're all in silence sitting back thinking about now we can fix this shit and we can bring things back to the way they were. No and no. We do not want things to go back to the way they were. And you know what's crazy? I think a lot of people mistake this silence that's coming from the black community as a lack of awareness, as if maybe we don't know what's going on. You might see us dancing and having fun and playing around and shit still, and you might think, these niggas just don't take shit seriously. But I'll tell you what, at a certain point, niggas will stop dancing, niggas will stop singing, niggas will stop going along to get along. But we know America far too well. And we know that there's far too many traps, there's far too many booby traps, there's far too many things put in place that are meant to capture us, to catch us, to stop our forward progress. We know that most of our attempts at protest and revolution, they get quenched before they even really get started. So we just chilling, sitting back waiting. But you'll be a fool if you think that silence is a lack of awareness. And you know what? I really think that some of these people, I don't think what scares them the most is losing all that money and losing the access to certain privileges and whatnot. Of course that matters, but I think what really scares some of these people is that at a certain point of the degradation of this society, black people and other melanated peoples will feel this relief and sense that, hey, big brother's not right over my shoulder. Hey, I got a little room to groom now. And once this system starts to lose control and the people start to gain control, I think America will see a whole nother side of black people that they thought didn't exist, that they thought maybe we got over. But I tell you what, there is an undeniable, unceasing fire, a burning rage, an endless series of traumatic energy that has built up over the years and years and generations and generations. And I think the biggest fear is that one day that all that energy is going to be released back into the world. All that trauma, all that pain, all that exploitation, all those deeds that was done in the dark that maybe they thought they got away with, we have not forgotten. And I think the biggest fear is that, they're going to realize that we've been wearing a mask this whole time, that we've had to pretend to get along so we can have a job, or we can do our things in society and whatever in this world, to function in this world. But we never forgot the pain, we never forgot the trauma, and we never forgot what America has done to us. So fuck no, I don't feel sorry or sympathy for what's happening to this place. And I just think that whenever the next time black people move collectively, the next time you see us do some shit, it's gonna be a power move like you ain't never seen before. Because the move is gonna be energized by generations and generations of built up traumatic energy and rage and all this frustration that we've experienced here in this country. And once we ain't got nothing left to lose or nothing left to gain, what do you think's about to happen? So all I can say is, don't take that silence coming from the black community right now as a lack of awareness. We know what's going on.
You know what I'm sick of? I'm sick of the food stamp office, okay? Okay, hang on. Before I get myself worked up, I just came here to talk about how I went from literally $1,700 in food stamps for a family of 3, okay? I don't work. I stay home every day. I'm not able to work, so I should be getting the maximum amount. Especially because he needs cereal, chips, pop. He needs all that. And I need my energy drinks. So I'm not going to have this taking me down from that much. And they took me all the way down to $120. Which they didn't even tell me why. I just got this notice in here that says they were cutting me back on food stamps. So now I'm really going to have to cut back on everything. He's not going to be able to have his pop no more. He's not going to be able to have his cereal every day for breakfast and his chips that he eats all day long. Wow. Great. Thanks.
Nothing to say. There's nothing I would say or, I mean, he's not going to change. My food stamps just got taken. So I'm in a bit of a crisis here trying to find out how I'm going to pay for food for the month. They closed my case. I think yesterday. I just found out today. So, yeah, I mean, I'm getting a lot of people like saying, "Go Trump! Oh, yo, he's so awesome." Nothing. Wastes of life. I have no food now, so this kind of sucks. And you people still support him? Right here.
I'm sorry. I was trying to be serious about this. Can somebody explain to me in crayon eating terms why I make over 3 times the federal minimum wage and I cannot afford to live? And I do not want to hear the pull yourself up from your bootstraps, work 90 hours a week. That's not the goal, guys. That's not. That should not be our standard. I am so fucking tired of people being complacent with this uniparty, both of them fucking us over. When my parents were my age, they both made less than half of what I make, and they lived alone. I cannot afford to live anywhere alone. A 1-bedroom apartment, $1,800. 2-bedroom apartment, $2,200. Who the fuck can afford that? It is embarrassing to come out and say that it is a struggle to survive right now, but I know so many people are struggling. And do not get me started on what my grandparents were doing. They $3,000 house. And yes, I understand inflation and all of the bullshit that they have been pulling with the Fed. Why are we allowing it? Why? And then I clock out of my shift. I am tired. I have to go home. And I check the news. Another 60 fucking billion to a country nobody can point out on a map. What are we doing? Where has the plot gone? We have lost it, folks. We have fucking lost it. The American dream is dead. It is over. Gone.
Welcome back. Now, America is collapsing. We have to agree that. It's collapsing under its own weight. Not under war and everything, no. Under its own weight. Inflation is out of control. Healthcare is unaffordable. Wages are stagnant. Student debts, it's drowning generations. Housing prices, it's skyrocketing. White Americans are waking up into grocery stores and panicking at prices they never thought they will see. They are standing at gas pumps complaining about the cost of, filling their SUVs. They are worried about losing their homes. They are worried about losing their jobs. They sense instability. They sense instability already. Some of them are leaving America. Now, this is not new for black people. This is not new for black Americans. So decades, black people were denied housing, loans, paid less for the same work. They are forced into underfunded schools. It's not new for black people. They were locked out of opportunities. For black people, survival has always meant making a war out of no way. The fallout feels like earthquake to white America, but for black people, it's just another day in America. Another day in America. Now, imagine a white American walking in the store, supermarket, and being followed. Like, okay, you're gonna steal? It hit different. But for black people, it's a normal day. Imagine white American being jailed for being poor or for not having a house. It's strong to them. But for black people, it is normal. DJT, his whole campaign was built on Make America Great Again. But who was the Great Again really for? It was not for black people. It was not for immigrants. It was not for the poor. It was a slogan designed to comfort white America and to tell them, don't worry, I will protect your privilege. But you know what happened? Trump tax cut made billionaires richer and left working class families struggling. His trade wars with China raised the price every day, the price of goods. His immigration crackdown created labor shortages that raised cost of industries like farming and construction goes high. His negligence of healthcare meant millions couldn't afford is a nightmare right now. And white America cheered when Trump promised to drain the swamp. And now they are drowning in the swamp themselves. The irony is that the policies exposed white America to the same instability black people have always endured. You get me? And the powerful truth is that black people aren't breaking down. Black people are not making videos crying. Black farmers are not making videos crying. Why? Because we have always lived in this struggle. Black people have always had to survive or less. We have always had faced rejection, discrimination. Black people have always lived in closed doors. And in that process, black people build resilience. On that process, we build creativity, we build survival strategies, and white America never had to learn. They never learned because they never go through the same issue. Black Americans or FBA, black people, they know how to stretch a dollar. They know how to create business in their communities. They know how to survive when systems fall. While white Americans are raging at the system, black people are saying, this is nothing new. And that's why it is hitting so hard on white America. Let me rewind back to history of white comfort because I love history. History, I never did history in school, but I've come out loving history because of Pan-Africanism. Now, that is sort of another day. White America has always lived with a sense of comfort. From slavery back then to Jim Crow, redlining, and today the system was built to protect white privilege. White families have easier access to loans, better schools, better healthcare, higher wages, and government support. But meanwhile, black families had to fight for everything. They had to fight for every scrap of opportunity. Now, the catch is when you grow up without comfort, you learn how to fight. For example, I grew up without a father. I never knew my dad. I've never seen him. So I grew up in that way. So even if something happened to me right now, I'm like, oh, I'm okay with that. Now, the comfort of being ripped away from white America and what we are seeing right now, rage, tear, fear, because for the first time, white America is feeling like the system is not for them. It's feeling like the system doesn't guarantee success. Now, why are white people raging? They are raging because they feel betrayed. They are raging because they believed the system would always work for them. They are raging because they believed politicians like Trump would keep them on top. They are raging because the system has left them. But instead, they are losing jobs, losing homes, losing stability. That's why they are raging. And when privilege collapses, it feels like oppression. That's the difference. Black people knows how oppression is. They have been oppressed, the real oppression. But white people feels oppressed because the system has collapsed. White people just know privilege. And when privilege falls apart, the mistake is for oppression. And that's why you see white Americans raging in the streets, storming capitals, crying on televisions about the American dream, sleeping away, American nightmare. But black had wisdom or have wisdom even in hard times. Black people have always known how to endure the hard time. From the field of slavery to the street of segregation, from economy shutdown to systematic exclusion, we made it through. Not just black American only, even Africans. Africans, we know to live with the hardship, man. Just take a kid from Congo, place him somewhere in France, somewhere in USA, or take a kid from Congo, bring him in Kenya. He sees like he's somewhere else because they have lived in hardship, fighting, struggling. That's the black people, the wisdom of hardship. Black Americans build strong culture out of the pain, music out of struggle, business in neighborhoods that the government abandons. Black people created joy even in suffering. And that's why in the fallout, black people aren't falling apart. Black people are steady, grounded, and saying we have seen this before. Now, DJT, white America, and the betrayal that is happening, it's like DJT, like many white Americans, they put their hope in DJT. They believed he was their savior, their protector, but in reality, he was always working for the wealthy elites. The coal miners who cheered for him, their job never came back. The farmers who voted for him, his trade wars crushed them, okay? The middle class families who trusted him, they are now in deeper debt. I say, Trump never cared about the working class. He cared about keeping power. He cared about protecting billionaires and keeping white America distracted with culture wars. And now, those who trusted him the most are paying the highest price. And the reason why black people ain't suffering the same is because when you have lived under systematic racism for centuries, a bad economy is not new. When you have been denied opportunities, higher prices don't shock you. When you have to fight just to survive, struggle doesn't break you. White America is raging because this is their first test of struggle. They are testing the pill right now. Black America is enduring because we have always been there. And this is the future of shifting in power. The fallout is not just economic, it's cultural, it's political, it is spiritual. Because black people are rising, Africa is rising, the youths are waking up, and we are uniting like never before. We have seen mass movement from Europe to Africa. Black people are coming. We are creating our own business. We are creating our own movement, man. Our own global connection. You see what's happening in Africa. It's not a joke anymore. The diaspora is rising. Black youths are rejecting systems that were designed to break us. And white people are raging not just because of the fallout. They are raging because they see black power rising at the same time, and that combination terrifies them. Okay? I'll say this. American fallout is real. It is painful though, and it is shaking the foundation of the system that was built on lies. And white people are raging because it's the first time they are seeing this. It's the first time they are suffering. It's the first time the system is against them. It's the first time that the white farmers are seeing they don't have some people to work for them because immigration policy is hard on them. The poor white people are raging because the policy that is dealing with the homelessness to arrest them or to find them, it is new to them. They never expected this. So the difference is resilience. The difference is history and truth. As we keep rising as black people, it's not that everyone is happy. We keep rising as Africa, it's not that everyone is happy. I've seen a lot of content creators from Africa, they are showcasing the beauty of Africa. Burkina Faso has changed a lot. Burkina Faso has changed how they are being looking at us. And we are the true sons. We are the true chosen ones. We never build our empires in lies. They build theirs in lies. And that's why when the lies is going down, they are feeling the heat. That's why I'm saying, black people is not that they are not feeling the heat. It's like living in Africa. Some people think living in Africa is so bad, poverty, blah, blah, blah. And they think for you to live in Africa, you're so primitive. But no, we are the one who is in Africa. We just feel like any other normal day. Yes, it is tough. It is tough because the neocolonialism is affecting us. The exploitation is exploiting us. It is tough, but we see it like a normal day. If you take someone else from somewhere else and bring him to Africa, he or she may feel the pinch. But we as like, oh, yeah, you eat once a day. That's okay. Oh, we do that. But who told you Africa we eat once a day? It's just stereotype. But if we do that, because we cannot lie that in some countries, poverty is on its edge. And getting a meal, it is tough. But that does not mean that we are crying on that. Personally, I even don't eat sometimes. But if someone else lives my life, he or she sees that he's going to die. But for me, I'm just fine. Because that's where I've put myself. That's why white Americans are raging. Because black people ain't suffering the same way they are doing. Let's meet on the comment section. Peace out.